Hi everyone, this video is the first of 3 that I'm going to be sharing some information about Google Forms with you through. I am starting from the basics, so right now I am at Google Drive and I'm going to show you how to get started with creating a new form. Feel free to do this on your own and you can just pause the video while you complete the steps and then restart the video and keep moving on. So we're going to start by clicking on New and looking for Google Forms. So if it doesn't show up immediately here, you're going to click on More and you're going to go over to Google Forms. And this is going to open up Google Forms. Now your Google Forms may not look anything like my Google Forms. Yours may look like this. So this is the Google Forms that we have come to know and love over the past few years, but Google has upgraded it and the new version is much sleeker looking than this version. I'm going to do this tutorial all in the new version, and that is because there are plenty of tutorials online about the old version, and with my experience with Google we will all be moving to the new version eventually anyway, so we might as well start this year by learning the new version. If you are not prompted at the top to try the new version, I have included in Classroom a link to this page. Let me get to the top so you can see what it actually looks like. This page is actually really good information for anybody. It talks about what has changed, what's new in Google Forms, and what features are not available any longer. I don't think that they will be unavailable forever, but I just don't think that all the features have been worked out before they rolled out the new forms. So about 3/4 of the way down, you will see an opt-in to the new version. And that will, if you click on it, I guess prompt you to log back in. It should take you immediately to the new version, which is very purple on my screen. I'm guessing it's purple for everybody because Forms color is kind of purple. So up in the top left-hand corner, we're going to just work our way around the perimeter basically in this video. The untitled form, I'm going to go ahead and name mine because I like to have it named in my Google Drive in case I get called away. I don't like anything being unnamed. Okay, so now it's been named. Notice it did default to down here. I did notice when playing around earlier, if you start here, it does not default to up there. So you do want to name it up in the top left-hand corner. All right, we're going to keep moving to the right. Right here, the little color palette. If purple is not your color, you can switch to other colors, maybe gray, blue, or Google has added a bunch of new themes to their forms. So by clicking in the bottom right corner of that window that was just up, you can get to all of these choices. So I am hungry and I'm not craving steak, and I probably shouldn't choose that one because it's not school appropriate. Let's do popcorn. All right, and that should click over to my new theme. I'm not sure I'm digging the pink, but we'll live with it for today. All right, so that would be the color palette. The next one over is Preview. That is very similar to View Live View, I think is what it was in the old one. So if I were to click on it, it's going to open the form in a new tab, and it's going to be the way that people who are going to now access my form will see it. They won't see this edit button up here because they're not logged in as me, but they're going to see this version. And obviously we haven't done anything with it, so it's kind of blah. So I can have 2 options from here. I can always edit my form since I'm logged in as me by clicking here, or I can just close this tab and go back to my other one. So that was the preview. This next one is Settings. This is where you decide who is going to be able to access your form and how they can access it. So there's 2 choices here, which is very minimal compared to how Google normally shares things. Who can respond? Anyone in Louisa County Public Schools. Kind of a misnomer in our school division because our students are not on the same domain as we are. So when it says this, it's anyone in your Google domain. So for us, it's anyone whose Google login ends in at lcps.k12.va.us. So if you choose this, students cannot be logged in and answering your questions on your form. The other option, we can click down and click on Anyone. What Anyone does is leaves this form wide open to absolutely anyone on the planet. It is totally, absolutely, 100% anonymous. I know I get that question all the time when administrators send out surveys to teachers Some teachers are like, I just wasn't sure if they would know who I was if I was really honest. No, totally anonymous. Anybody. Okay. Again, notice there's a box here. Can submit only one response, and that requires a login. So again, that would require someone to log in even with a Google email address. The other option, back to the Louisa County Public Schools, that you can limit them to only one response. You can automatically collect their information as well. If you don't trust a student to give their right name, it can collect their, well, not a student, because they're on a different domain. It can collect a coworker's information where you would know who took the form if you want to make it where they have to log in. Confirmation page. Once someone has submitted your form, it's nice to tell them that it worked. So the default is your response can be recorded. You can change that if you want to whatever you want. All right. You can allow people to submit another response. Again, totally up to you. You can allow people to change their responses, and you can also allow them to see a summary of everybody's response. Now, 99% of the time, I don't think this is applicable in a school environment, because that means all the information is being shared with everyone who takes the actual form, who answers the questions. So use that one wisely. If you know you're doing a survey and it's long and people are going to get like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever, I'm going to quit, you can show them a progress bar so they can see they're further than they think, and you can shuffle the question order. To get everything to stick, you're going to hit save. All right. Next one over, send. This is a relatively, either it's a new feature, I didn't use it in the old forms, or it's just more obvious maybe now. So I can email out information about this directly through the program. I probably would still tend to go to preview and take the URL, copy and paste it into an email. And that is because we don't have Google email. So sometimes our groups, such as, for example, LCPS ITRTs, you can't always use that in Google to share stuff because that's more of an Outlook group. So our groupings don't always work very well with Google. All right, this little less obvious 3 little dots over here, you can make a copy of your form. Let's say you want multiple classes to have the same quiz, but you don't want all the answers to be dumped into the same resulting spreadsheet. You can easily make a copy, and then you'd have 4 copies. Probably just want to rename each one by class period. You can move it to trash if you've just decided that's it, I give up. Pre-filled link, I'm not going to go over that. That's more of an advanced version for those of you that want to learn something different. Google that. Add collaborators would allow someone else to work on the form with me and get the resulting spreadsheet. All right, very last thing. If you have used forms before and you have special things like add-ons that you use on your forms that are not available in the new forms yet, or you're just finding this new forms way overwhelming and you just need to make a quiz for tomorrow, over here in the bottom left is this little guy running away from the new forms and back to the old form. So if I were to click on that, I go back to the old form where I have the add-ons I've added before, the more comfortable format, and one I've been using for years. So you can toggle back and forth for now. Okay, that is it, and I look forward to sharing more with you in the next video.